All right, guys. It is Wednesday, August 4th. We need to be at an event, Gambler 500 for Colorado. It's like in Alamosa. Thursday evening. I think it's like August 12th or something like that. I think it's the 12th. Yeah, that makes sense, the 12th. We picked up this car a long time ago. Here's all the footage from that. All right, so we are we're back on the road. We dropped that trailer off at John's. We got some food, went back to our shop, got the small trailer again. We're back on the interstate, and we're going to get a cool car. It's a gambler car. I definitely don't need it for any purpose at all, but I sold this guy an engine a few months ago, and he's not going to get around to putting it in, and it's got to stay in our circle. This thing's sweet, so we'll see you at his house. Oh yeah.
Or front, rad sport, rad headlights, box. There's like everything in there. So the hoses I cut, the hoses that broke, trans fluid, trans filter. I even bought the O-rings for the cooling crossover tubes.
Straighten up, and then push it farther on, and then we can put the engines like behind the car, maybe. We'll see.
Sounds good.
I've never had an E38 and engines on it. I've had E39 and 2 engines on it. All right, parking brake released. Are you ready for speed? I'm ready for speed. Rolls great.
These old girls still hold air. It's pretty impressive.
Almost. Almost. We made it to there. This thing's sick though. Alright guys, we're all loaded up on the way back to the shop. Got the E38, 2 engines. Yeah, it took about 45 minutes. We did pretty good. I got some shit to talk to you though, CJ. So, this car cost me a case of beer. And $1,500, we're not gonna talk about that part. So, I bought the E38 for a case of beer. And, but CJ, when you tell somebody that the car costs a case of beer, usually you open the beers and you offer somebody a beer when they're there. Just saying, man, that was a rookie move. But, no, I don't care.
Chris is deeply offended.
But yeah, we're on our way back, about, I don't know, 25-minute drive. Hopefully there's not traffic yet. And, yeah. I'm really excited on this thing. So here's the thing. It's a 2001 E38 740IL, so it's the long one. It's got a 3-inch lift on it and some rather large BFG KOs. Not KO2s, not God's tires. So maybe these are Jesus's tires. I'm excited for this thing. It's very torn apart. It should come with most of the things to put it together though. He had an engine failure and then bought an engine from me and then just never got around to putting it in. But he did move a bunch of the parts over to the new engine that I sold him and did a bunch of things. So it's just gonna be putting it in. It's always hard to take over somebody else's project and like find hardware and lines and stuff, but we'll figure it out. We got a lot of parts cards. This is nice. B is for build. I don't know if you guys watch these. He did like a, I think it was like a Oregon 500 or something they called these things back in the day before. Like that's where the original Gambler was from, was Oregon. But he did one in E38 and it was like the B is for build like limo service, but his was like kind of like a shitty car that he started with, and he did like weird stuff and like really couldn't figure out how to lift it and things. So we're gonna do a little bit better than that, and yeah, and then we're not just gonna sell it after we use it once. We're gonna keep it. So
just have a fleet of lifted off-road BMWs.
Yeah, this is like the pre-runner one though. Yeah. We're keeping it 2-wheel drive.
I like that.
It's been sitting since that day. I think that was 2, 3, 4 months ago. Haven't touched it. It's time. We got like what, 4 or 5 days to get it done. So we have a whole lot of nothing. Oh, that's heavy.
So lifted.
But see you, James. I'll see you soon. All right, later, man. But if anybody's gonna get this thing done in time, it's us and all of our random E38 shit. Let's get to it.
You feeling confident?
I'm feeling pretty confident.
What do you think our first step should be?
Get the engine and put it in.
I think we're on the same page, yeah.
Just literally just go grab it and throw it in. And,
Yep.
and then if we have something, just take it back out.
We'll throw a trans on the engine too, and then throw it in.
Yeah, we'll definitely put as one. Our buddy CJ, I don't know if he watches their videos, but if you do, thanks. This is who we bought it from. He took this to the Gambler, you know, whatever. You just saw that. But he already took the front end off for us, so we're gonna leave the subframe completely intact and just go for it. We've been pushing it around, and the drive shaft's just kind of been down there banging into stuff, but it kind of looks like maybe the center support like sort of survived. I don't know. It might need a center support bearing.
I think it's fine.
It's been a lot of banging.
But
yeah. Yeah, I'm into this.
let's dive in, huh?
It's gonna be good. I'm sorry if this is distracting me from E30 turbo stuff. The E30 turbo is at the utmost of priorities, but this needs done now.
Yeah, there's no more time on this.
E30 stuff though. Oh, you don't need to know it. Never mind. There's a video. It might be after this one. It might be before this one. Either way, there's a video.
Let's go.
And one thing, we're already decaled up.
Yeah.
We already have our suspension modifications. We already have tires. All we need is an engine and a transmission that work.
It shouldn't be bad.
I don't know why we're making this a big thing in our heads.
We have been.
We have been.
Well, it's an E38. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit on these.
But we got the E38 guy.
I'm the OBD2, OBD1 E38 guy.
We got the E38 guy right here. This is an OG member of the E38 Empire.
Pre-TU. That's my expertise.
Doesn't matter what he thinks he knows. He knows it all.
Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But anyway, taking over this camera. We're vlogging. All right.
We're vlogging.
So we'll walk through here. There's some junk in the way. But we come over here. We're going. We're swooping. Bam. We got, I'm thinking, good engine and bad engine.
Yeah, I really don't remember.
I think he moved everything over.
Right.
So that one has an ulcer and stuff. So I think it's that one. And then there's a transmission. Looks like maybe that thing back over there behind all those Getreks. So let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the engine out. It's right here. So this is a TU engine, which means it has Vanos in the front, M62 B44 TU. It had cats right here, and then more cats back there. I shopped all those and sold all that shit because it was worth a lot of money. Cats have plummeted in value now, but so I feel like I am really happy about when I decided to cut all of the cats out of everything that I own. Anyway, solution, because I don't want to do a bunch of welding to make this happen again. We're gonna go get non-TU headers. So they didn't have cats in there, and I should have a complete part. The difference is when these came down, they had a single flange right here. The ones that we're gonna have is gonna have two flanges. So we're probably gonna need the center section from one of those cars as well. Lucky for us, there's a bunch of those things just sitting out in the lot. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure I have a pair of headers that aren't on a car as well. So we can just grab them and go. Hey, there's some interesting things. This thing is stamped by LKQ. Story on this engine. I sold this to my buddy CJ, but when we first started doing car stuff at this shop, Will and I were like going around and buying a lot of stuff. We were in Vegas buying all kinds of stuff, and the dude that we were buying some random stuff with, or maybe, I don't even think we actually ended up buying anything from him that time. Funny enough, I ended up buying that red E30 that has an S52 in it that I have. That I'll hopefully finish someday. I ended up buying that from him. But I bought this because it had a 6-speed on the back of it. And so we really don't know if this runs or not. I sold it to CJ. I was thinking, I told him I think that it will run. And I am putting it in my car because I, again, think it will run. What are we missing there?
The booster for the brakes.
Oh, okay. So hopefully it's in the car, not broken.
Or the other one.
Okay. See? Hamish is like, I don't know anything about this.
It's a brake fluid. I don't know.
You know all the stuff, you just don't want to admit it.
I'm also thinking it might be easier just welding pipes on.
But then we have to weld it again.
And then take it out of the car and yeah, you're right. Let's go grab those headers.
Just bolt them on. Because the way the car's set up right now, we can get to every single bolt.
Exactly. So, and then once it slides in from the front, it's going to be way easier. Yeah. All right, let's go do that.
So, we'll be back. All right, we're back for an update. We're here. It's still light outside. We got Matt over here trying to find a leak on his tire. He's not successful. No luck.
No luck.
We got Ham the man over here. What's Ham doing?
I thought that this hardline didn't have a hose clamp on it, and it did, so I just ended up pulling it for no reason, which is good. At least we know it's there now. And I'm just dressing it up, getting the harness on and everything there too.
Cool. We haven't run into any major snags so far. We got the non-CU headers on. We found a box full of new parts. So we got some lines and we don't have some lines, but we're looking good. We got new transmission fluid. I'm just going through the car right now and just taking everything out of it. I found the flex plate and I managed to drop it out of the box and I bent that one right there, if you can see. So I think it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna send it because I don't have another one that's easily accessible, but if it has a weird misfire, we will know why. All right, guys, calling it a night. I got a flex plate on after I bent that tooth that I think I showed you. We got a bunch of stuff on the front of the engine. It's a little dark, but just imagine it. We got secondary air pump routing, belt tensioner. We don't have a belt for that. We're gonna have to buy that. This heat exchanger thing for the transmission has a crack in it. I tried to fix it with a hose clamp and some epoxy. Might work, it might leak a little bit. It's an $80-something part, $100 part that I have to wait for a while. Just gonna run it for now and we'll figure it out. But got all the coil packs in, plugged in, covers on both sides. This is actually gonna go really well. Hamish and I were thinking conservatively we needed about 4 days. Still might take about 4 days, but I think we're gonna get this done and have time to spare. I emptied the entire car out. These are all the parts I found. Pulled the radiator, it's got an E-fan on it, and used a cookie sheet as a shroud, so that was pretty inventive. But I'll be totally honest with you guys. I've been building a lot of cars lately and working on stuff, and I am legitimately excited for this to get done. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And the only 2 cars I gotta get done this year now that I have to get done for the rest of the year is this car and I have one more, I just remembered. This car and then the white E30 and then one more car. So as soon as the turbo E30 is done and this is done and that other car needs very little work, then I can get down to these things. So it's gonna be pretty good. There's a lot going on. I'll share with you guys soon. But thanks for watching. This was a pretty long video judging that we put all the content in from when we got this car. But anyway, have a good night. Thanks. Bye.